Right, so I was just chilling the other day in maths class, and I realized it's technically possible to do a trigonometry MLG in Minecraft. So let me explain. I've got a super flat world here. You can do it in any world. And I'm going to place one block on the floor like this. We can clearly see that's one block. And then I'm going to build up a random number of blocks, alright? Let's say 7. We normally won't know how tall this actually is, but for the sake of this video we do. We know it's 7, but normally we don't, and that's what we need to figure out. Now we're going to be standing up here normally because that's how we need to fall down and MLG, because this is a trigonometry MLG, and we can see that this is one block long. So we know the opposite and we don't know the adjacent, which is what we want to figure out. We want to figure out how high this fall is. And the only trigonometric ratio which involves opposite and adjacent is tan. I also recommend you have some sort of zooming in feature to like zoom in like this, like Optifine or Feather or Luna or something which can help you zoom in, just to get more precise. We want to line ourselves exactly up to the edge of this block, because this is where our eye level is. Eventually you got it, see right there. Right here, right in the center, it'll give two angles. One is negative 0.9 right now, and one is 90. The 90 refers to up and down, looking up and down. So I'm currently looking 90 degrees down, a straight angle down. Now we want to move this forward slightly right to the edge of this block over here. We're at eye level of the other thing, so we don't need to worry about that. And then with the negative 0.5 currently, we need to make that 0. It's going to change depending which direction you're currently facing. It will either be 0, 90, 180 or 270. And you want to get it as close to that as possible, preferably on top of it. And that means you're looking straight forwards, which is good because it means that your hypotenuse won't interfere. So I've got it. And we can see that 83.5 while looking exactly at the edge, except that's the angle of depression, and the angle of depression is basically the opposite of the angle of elevation. And we know that all angles of a right angle triangle or any triangle add up to 180, and we know the one we're currently standing on top of is 90. So we can do 180 minus 90, which equals 90. Take 83.5, which will give us the angle we're currently looking at, which is 6.5. So we're currently at a 6.5 degree angle down, and therefore we can do, to figure out the adjacent, we can do 1 divided by tan 6.5, and that will give roughly 8.8. And we're 7 blocks up, but our player is also 1.8 blocks tall. So that seems to check out. 1.8 plus 7 is 8.8, which is what it says. And we can do this at any height. It isn't, you know, we could go really high. Now I'm going to build up a bunch without knowing how high I actually am. And now let's do this again. The angle is going to be smaller. The smaller it is, the taller up you are. Right, I've currently got a line now, 88.1. So now we do 180 take 90. You don't need to do that part because you just know it's 90. And then take 88.1, which should give about 1.9. And then you do 1 over tan 1.9, 30.14, which take 1.8. It should be about 28 blocks into the air. Let's count. I mean, we can already determine because this is minus 32 and that's minus 60. So that's exactly 28 difference. So yeah, it works. So we are able to determine the exact distance. Now you're probably wondering, how does this actually let you MLG? Because, I mean, cool, we know how big the fall is, but, like, we can still MLG regardless. Well, not necessarily, because you've got a hay bale in your inventory, alright? Now we can calculate how big this fall is, but we don't know if we'll live if we hay bale, either because we're too high to hay bale or we're too low in health. And from this fall, we'll definitely die with a hay bale, but say it's a bit closer than that, a bit tighter, you're not 100% sure normally, alright? Say you have, say there's a leaf down there, or something like that, and you have a hoe, and you have a minecart, and you have a rail, or something along that line, yeah? And then there's a glitch, where, you can kind of stall MLG. As we fall, when we break that, and at the exact same time, switch to our offhand, then we'll kind of stall. I'll try to prove it. See, like that. Now normally it's impossible to place a rail and minecart and get in it. It's impossible to do that if you're higher than 20 blocks away from the ground. Since we stall, it kind of gets rid of our momentum and we have just enough time to do it, which I have previously done in another video called Minecraft's Weirdest Clutches. If we're able to calculate quickly how big that fall is and realize we can't MLG it with a hay bale, then instead we can try and MLG with this. Kinda hard, it'll take a couple attempts. The point is it's possible, and that's all we need to know. And this isn't the only store clutch, there's lots of store clutches, and one really thing that could help you is if you're playing before like 1.20, there's a glitch where if you fall a certain number of blocks with a boat, it'll break the boat and you'll take 4 damage. But otherwise you're able to psychologically realize your boat will break and you die, switch how you MLG to probably a more complex way, but the only way you actually live. So kind of a psychological MLG if you think about it, a maths MLG. So kind of like that, except I didn't play 3 rail at the same time, but also just in general it's pretty cool to know how tall you are off the ground. It'll help with like building and stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, goodbye.